Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, goeiemorgen Pakistan, and everyone across the globe as well. Welcome to World This Morning with Shahzad Hashmi on a beautiful, beautiful morning outside. How are you all doing? We are all great. I'll tell you why, because I started my day with a cup of coffee and, of course, a video call with my mom. That is all I need to stay positive throughout the day. What do you guys do? Share with us on our Facebook page, of course. But other than that, there's just one thing we need to share before we move on to the weather updates from around the country. Just yesterday, I came across the video on Twitter. It was shared by Pakistan Fights Polio. It's a page on Twitter. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's this video in which I was absolutely inspired and motivated to watch. A polio worker in the district Swat was walking up, to his target houses, doing his job with knee-high snow in his casual attire, and he was just continuously, doing his job without being demotivated or because of the hindrances in his way. And that is why I am here sharing my early morning with you. Although my bed and my warm quilt kept staring at me and I had to sleep because it was so cozy and warm. But thank you to the polio worker, for inspiring me today. And talking about snow, I think it's now time to take a look at the weather updates from around the country. So here we go on your screens. So, ladies and gentlemen, to start with, the Met Office has predicted that a fresh spell of rain and snowfall is starting throughout the country. Met Office also informed that westerly wave is likely to enter western parts of the country tonight and likely to grip different parts today and may persist in upper parts till Thursday. Widespread rain, thunderstorm with few moderate to isolated heavy falls expected in Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Upper Punjab, Islamabad, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir from today to Thursday. Well, beautiful weather updates. I mean, we are entering into a fresh new spell of rain and snowfall. Very exciting to see, I think, for all of those who haven't taken a vacation yet. It is now time to go. So, what beautiful visuals to watch early in the morning. But now, ladies and gentlemen, where is Shahzad? He's not with me today. Why? We will find out shortly. Today in the first segment, we are going to be joined by someone who is a birthday boy today without giving anything away. He's your very own. You know him, you love him. We have made a small video for all of you so you know who he is, his journey in the industry on your screens right now. Let's take a look and then we introduce him.
Shahzad Khan, a famous name of anchoring and music industry, is someone very close to our hearts, always for his style and bonding with the audience and viewers. Since early age, Shahzad was having two major interests. First on the list was becoming a pilot and topping the skies. Second was to do singing and acting at major television channels. When despite a lot of tries he didn't make it to the sky, things went all in favor of TV and finally he started his career as video jockey from the platform of ARY Music in 2005. He gained new heights in career by featuring in VJ shows like VJ Hunt, Guru Ho Ja Shuru, Campus Star and doing TV commercials of the top drinks foodies of Pakistan. In 2013, he joined the PTV World as anchor of World This Morning. Indeed, he's the soul of this program because World This Morning is known courtesy his classy style of speaking and making the viewers feel the moment with his expressions live. Team World This Morning is indeed lucky to have him with lots of love and best wishes. We all wish Shahzad a very happy birthday on his special day.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, a star is born today on my right-hand side. Your very own, the most celebrated host of Pakistan as of right now. This is Shahzad Khan for you. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello,
happy
walaikum
birthday.
assalam. Thank you very much. And I feel great and I feel superb. I feel fantastic. And I think that everybody wants to work alongside a team who really value you. So thank you very much to all my team members, Mr. Masood Beg Saab, who's actually heading the channel right now as well, Mr. Jamshed Sultan, Mr. Vakas Banga, Shiza, you too as well, our camera team, MCR, makeup, everybody, Davar, Honey, everybody who's actually a part of a team. It feels great to be over here. And yes, it's my birthday today, so I cannot keep calm.
Wow, that is absolutely great. How does it feel to be on that side of the corner? And one thing before we do move on. The package mentioned that you wanted to be in the sky, but I have to tell you, although you're not maybe literally, but you literally are in the sky. You are the star of Pakistan, one of the big stars of Pakistan. I'm so proud to have you at PTV World.
Thank you very much. And I cannot thank Lamia and, my parents and the entire family who supported me throughout the journey. But yeah, that's true. I always wanted to be a fighter pilot, and I've
Yeah.
always wanted to be one of the, people who actually are going to serve the country in the armed forces.
Right.
And I attempted to join Air Force as well, but I miserably failed. I think that there were 4 subjects that I was supposed to appear in, but unfortunately, I failed all of them.
Oh, wow.
And yes, I ended up doing my
It's a
master's.
talent, to actually fail all the given subjects as well.
Yeah, all the subjects. But at the same time, I think that being over here on television, we've got the opportunity so many times
Right.
to actually go witness all of those beasts and machines and sit in them. So I think that I'm very thankful and I'm very glad. And birthday, so ladies and gentlemen, age is just a number. Just look at me, come on, So we're going to live a happy and a healthy life, inshallah.
Only getting younger with time, of course. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing. We're not going to talk about his media journey that we already mentioned about, how he's been in the industry and whatnot. We are going to find out who Shahzad Khan is. I mean, you've seen him on stage, you've seen him on TV. But as a person, I know him personally, but this is for all of you out there. So to start with, Shahzad, who was Shahzad Khan as a child? I mean, we know
Okay,
you grew up with, mashallah, 7 siblings.
Alhamdulillah.
How was it?
So it was great, and I'm sorry that I'll have to put it out this way as well, but I think that it was great because of the fact that I was the very first boy ever born in our family.
Wow.
So may it be my pupos, may it be my chachus or anybody else.
And you
So-
must be the ladla.
Yeah, no, obviously, this is what happens because earlier, I have, alhamdulillah, 5 elder sisters too as well.
Wow.
So eventually, everybody kind of celebrated me, and, that's how I grew up. I'm friends with my chachu, I was friends with my dadabu, everybody calls me bhai, but, not for all those people who are out there. And my mom and dad, they still call me bhai too as well. So I think it was wonderful, but then at the same time, what I've realized so far is that being ladla is different, but taking advantage of being ladla is something where you deteriorate in life.
Right.
So one way or the other, I think that my dad actually had a bigger heart of sharing love with me, but then at the same time he kept an eye of a lion on me, on top of me too as well. And I think that the credit goes to them that they have actually kept me very humble. And then there are a group of
Right.
people out there who've actually kept me very modest and humble throughout my journey.
That is what I was coming to. So belonging to a family who is, mashallah, who was doing great. I know you guys were into business and your dad was a bureaucrat as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
were, always leading a pampered life. But to be humble with you have hundreds and thousands of fans. I've seen your fan mail and they
Thank
reach
you.
out to you. But you tend to stay humble. What is it that keeps you going?
Okay, so alhamdulillah, since you mentioned that, my father's a bureaucrat and, we're into business, but it wasn't really like this. So initially when we started, my father was a cashier at a bank, at a local bank, and, and he got married when he was 18. So, he's actually been onto all of those steps where, it's difficult times, how to go through them and whatnot. So I think that, my father has actually played a very key role in keeping all of us siblings very modest and humble
Wow.
too as well, because he believes कि जिस दरख्त को फल लगा होता है वो झुका हुआ होता है, and I think that that's the core too, and the future generations or the newer generations who are out there, they really need to understand it, because attitude won't land you anywhere. It's not going to give you
Absolutely.
anything. People are going to go away from you, and this is not what you want. You want to spread smiles, and ever since I was a child, so I know that I'm sorry, if my family members are watching it. So I was one of those childs who's always cracking very notorious kind of jokes,
Right.
so not having a direction. And I just wanted to spread smiles. I just wanted to share a happy moment with everybody who was out there.
So that's what you're
it
doing.
was,
Thank
yes.
you so much for being our guest in the first segment. But to be honest, we love you better over here, so you must get back to
I'm
your
coming.
place
I'm
right now.
coming.
So we're heading out to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday, Shahzad. Again,
you.
stay tuned, because when you come back, we have an entirely new segment. Good morning.
Let's do that.
Passion for polo will be the highest on the world's highest polo ground. Shandur invites visitors to experience a traditional polo tournament between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The tournament is held on Shandur Pass, the highest polo ground in the world, at 3,700 meters above sea level. The first time a polo tournament took place on the Shandur Pass was in 1936. It is a place unique and exotic in itself, surrounded by some of the most spectacular mountain scenery in the world. The event marks the annual rivalry between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The polo tournament has some added attractions for the visitors: trout fishing at the nearby streams and lakes, and a festival of folk dances and music of northern Pakistan. The event in itself offers a fascinating insight into the lifestyle of the people of this region. Their culture and indigenous customs are a delight to behold for the visitors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for everybody who just got tuned into PT where you watching World this morning alongside Shahzad Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today it was my birthday. We celebrated it with full zeal and fervor. I mean, that's how the word is. But right now I'm back where I was supposed to be, because birthdays, Eid, Shabrat, whatever happens, you got to work, and you got to work with full dedication and motivation too as well.
Absolutely.
Which is why, you know, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who actually holds a very tight grip on conflict resolution. He's been awarded with numerous awards on the types of services that he has provided for the country and outside the country too as well. He's a social scientist, and then he's a scholar, ladies and gentlemen, and we will definitely be talking about an individual's role in making a society a better one, a good one, and a positive one as well. He's none other than Dr. Zulfiqar Kazmi. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, and thank you very much for having me. First of all, happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, and actually you have given a very right preamble.
Sir.
If someone have a very special day, then he should be motivated to do something great,
Exactly.
something
Right.
good,
Exactly.
and he should engage with the society as well.
Right.
He should be more productive on that day.
Exactly.
So what Fiza was talking, and I was listening you in your earlier program. Actually, you people are doing fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
And youth is the one
Exactly.
Right.
who could mobilize Pakistan
Right.
in the right direction. What we are looking for now,
Exactly.
you know. So as you have introduced me as a conflict resolution expert or something, you know, I'm very humbled and honored to say that definitely I have contributed towards this one,
Right.
but we need to do more.
Definitely.
Yes, and
But
because
Dr.
the
Kaz-
society is looking for something, it wants to move.
Right.
And if we want to move the society, then we should have a very clear plan.
Absolutely.
So clear
Absolutely.
plan is with us. What the founding father said to us:
Go ahead, sir.
equality, fair play, and justice.
Yes.
Right.
So these are the things that definitely I think these could help Pakistan and Pakistani youth and people at large, and they could be more productive for Pakistan. So
Right.
it's the right perspective what you said.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Work. Do more for Pakistan.
Exactly.
Yes.
We will.
That's what we're trying. But Dr. Kazmi, you know, all of the things, all of the initiatives that you've taken, you're sort of, you know, making Pakistan stand out on the basis of its identity. Because like every other Pakistani citizen, you want Pakistan to be the best of all, of course. And you have been living abroad, going here and there since 27 years and trying to engage in mobilizing the community as well. How has that gone for you? Also, do you see that if you're specifically addressing the youth, you know, to become a responsible citizen of Pakistan, does that really work? And if yes, how is it going, you know, how is it coming off for
Now,
you?
how do they respond to this
Yeah.
notion?
Earlier, I have seen that youth was a great segment, but their vitality was not we were not judging as we should have.
Right.
So this was the reason that we have not focused them properly. So as we see that how this important segment of society can move, and while living abroad, that's 27 years is a long,
Right,
I think
right.
that's almost 3 decades. Keeping ourselves away from Pakistan, sometimes I feel that we did not do good because we had to be here. We could contribute more. But these are the opportunities.
Exactly.
I think that opportunities should avail.
Yes.
And while I was there, that we have done something to express our hope for Pakistan
Right.
Exactly.
and to give a right perspective about Pakistan and what Pakistan is actually, So because most of the time people never know that what is Pakistan. So at US Capitol Hill, at different institutions, we were talking about Pakistan.
Right.
That how people could understand better Pakistan. And I think it's the right time now that we have been given, the present government is working very hard.
Yeah.
They have just 6 months, when they came in power,
Yeah.
But we are expecting more. Our expectations with them are high, but we have to think that what we are contributing.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
So I think it's very important, and we could, mobilize our people. And it's,
Definitely.
it's
Which
very
is why there's one thing, sir, which I wanted to ask. I know that you have
No
had
problem,
a question
please go
too as
ahead.
well, and that is that, there's this phrase, and it goes like this, that one thing in hand is better than 2 in bushes. Now, for example, with such a youth bulge over here in the country, where people have their own preferences and priorities, we are unable to decide for what's good for us. And I think that it definitely comes under the branch of conflict resolution because of the fact that, it's internal. This is something you want, and this is something which you are getting. And half of the time, what we want is not what we get. And that's why we lack in our performances, that's why we lack in our motivation, and we're not so dedicated towards the job that we are doing. How do you think that we can find a resolve within that?
I think that we need to understand their problems.
Okay.
And how we could, give a right perspective to them to move forward. Number one is education and quality education. Number 2, values.
Yes.
Number 3, that how world is moving and how we could be compatible with the world.
Yeah.
So these are the 3 things I think that we could seek help, not from ourselves, even from others.
Yeah.
Because when we interact with others, we learn how they have resolved their issues, how they have overcome on their problems. So problems are there, conflicts are, everywhere you could see the conflicts, And conflicts resolution basically is not a theory, it's a passion. And if someone is understanding
Yeah.
that he has a passion to resolve the issues, and with the youth, I think that it's very easy to understand them.
Right.
Because they have some fundamental issues which they are facing,
Okay.
from last many, many years.
Yes.
And now, I think it's a time that we could speak to them, we could talk to them. There should be a dialogue between youth and those people who they have done something, but not according to their expectations.
But this is what I wanted to share, that, I think that, that value generation hub, which used to be our, grandparents, our family members, when we used to live in joint family system, this is how we used to get values
Right.
embedded in us as well, that moral system, moral values and all of these things. These are very essential. But one way or the other, since we are moving into the nuclear family systems where everybody wants a house for their own selves, so the kids actually do not get the same values which probably the previous generations, you and I, got.
Right.
Now, how do you think that we need to bridge this gap to emerge as a society full of positive people?
Yes. Basically, family is a school of love.
Yes.
We could understand at that basic level that what family is,
Yeah.
and what their values should be, And we have a very strong values. In Pakistan, when we talk about the family values, these are very important. And when we understand the family values, which we are keeping from centuries
Yeah.
in Islamic perspective, in our cultural perspective, and you would be very happy that family is being focused everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed at at any level because people are concerned.
Yeah.
And people want to know that how they could be, more effective for the society. Here, I would like to mention that in 2017, me and my wife was, given the Best Parents Award of United States of America.
Oh, wow.
And this award was actually the U.S. Congress had approved, and President Bill Clinton signed into law.
I read it,
So
Wow.
it was an honor for a Pakistani American couple.
Right.
And then we could see that how they have brought up their children, And in the same way, I have seen that Pakistani American there and here as well, because I like to interact. So they are working very hard to keep the family values, and somewhere we need to think about that how world is looking towards us. And we have seen some disconnections as well.
Okay.
So we have to fill the gaps.
Yeah.
These gaps could fill up. If we will be able to fill up the gaps, then I think that we'll be able to deliver to the youth and to Pakistan as well.
Amazing that
Absolutely.
is. So thank you very much for being with us. It was lovely to have you. Thank you very much for sharing and imparting knowledge to all our amazing viewers
thank
who are
you
out
for
there.
making Pakistan
And
proud.
Yeah, and we definitely believe in playing our role as I don't know whether I still am a part of the youth bulge or not, because it was my birthday today, and I think that the definition of youth is somewhere around 15 to 30 years, which I've surpassed. But it's still perfectly all right. Age is just a number. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you,
Stay
sir.
tuned.
Thank
The Badshai Mosque, or the Royal Mosque in Lahore, commissioned by the 6th Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in 1671 and completed in 1673, is the second largest mosque in Pakistan and South Asia and the 5th largest mosque in the world. Epitomizing the beauty, passion and grandeur of the Mughal era. It is Lahore's most famous landmark and a major tourist attraction.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT World, you watching World this morning alongside these two amazing faces who make sure that you actually get a smile every day in the morning when you see us. But then now at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, when you see us, obviously that's a picture right on your television, and it depends on our producers and people who actually are behind the camera to make sure that what you actually are supposed to look at, so what you really need to see, what really needs to go out over there. And that is why that we've actually picked up on something
Yes.
very special. And Shiza will do the introduction of that fact.
Well, absolutely. I love how you linked to, the visuals. Absolutely love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by someone who is actually doing my dream job. I have studied for it, but unfortunately, I'm not doing it. But this girl is doing absolutely amazing job in Pakistan and working for, agencies abroad as well. She happens to be a photojournalist. Very few female photojournalists are there in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And she's here to talk about how it is for a female to be a photojournalist and how important it is actually to have women representing this part of the world as well. Well, her work has been published everywhere. She is going to tell herself her achievements and everything. So without further ado, this is Sayina Bashir, a photojournalist for all of you. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hi, thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely our pleasure. So to start with, we know a bit of your journey. You studied journalism, of course, but to enter into photojournalism specifically, and not probably print or not probably, other sorts of journalism. Why so?
So I was always interested in photography. Growing up, I would take pictures of anything and everything that would interest me.
Right.
And then it was my thesis year in college where I was doing my thesis, and I wanted it to be an amalgamation of photos and text. And a local newspaper at the time, The News, ended up publishing those photos. So that's where I realized what photojournalism was, and then I took it from there. I moved to the States. I did my master's in journalism.
Wow.
But I always was interested in doing photojournalism, so I kept, venturing out. I kept taking initiative, did a bunch of internships, and then I was working there at a newspaper before moving to Pakistan last year.
Okay, so just like music, do we have genres within photojournalism as well?
So it's basically news and documentary photography. Not really. I mean, there's spot news, which is breaking news. There's sports photojournalism, but mostly photojournalism is another niche of photography already. So there's a lot of documentary photography. So it's basically history in the making. We're on the front lines as photojournalists, documenting history. And in a lot of cases in history, for example, in the Vietnam War, the Americans weren't aware of the war atrocities in Vietnam, and photojournalists were the frontliners. There was pictures when they reached the public. That's when they decided to end the war. So in a lot of cases, it plays a very, very important
It definitely does. And Sayina, just yesterday, there was a very important verdict in the history of Pakistan. It happened in Islamabad. And you were there to capture the moments, and you shared your pictures, of course, with Reuters and whatnot, which is so amazing to look at. But was it not dangerous for you, especially being a woman, to go out in that crowd and get all those photos and to get access to that as well? Don't you feel like you are ever going to be threatened by that?
And what does Bashir Saab say about all of this? as well?
Well, he's been the biggest supporter.
Oh, wow.
When I was in America, I covered the Ferguson riots. So so that's probably one of the most dangerous assignments that I've covered. And I was tear gassed for the first time. And it's quite ironic that it wasn't in Pakistan and it was in America. But yes, of course, it takes a lot of courage. But when you're passionate about something, then there's no limit.
There's no stopping you.
Nobody can stop you, because it just takes a lot of passion. And when you have that, then you don't feel afraid, because you feel like you're achieving something and you want to get the story and you want to be there. But of course, as a woman, I was one of the two women who were there in the camera booths.
Right. Well, we do have some pictures of your work that you have produced and shared across the globe. Let's take a look at them.
Let's take a look and let's see how difficult it gets, ladies and gentlemen. So can we please share some pictures? Let's do that.
And then you can tell us where this was taken. Well, this is, of course, the US. Go ahead.
I was covering the presidential campaign in America, which was a lot of fun.
Okay. And
this
happens
was
to be?
an acid attack survivor who was getting married for the second time.
Oh, wow.
And I remember her saying to me that I thought I didn't have another chance at happiness.
Wow.
This was in Ferguson during the riots, when an unarmed black teenager was fatally shot by a white police officer. This was the start of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh, perfect. And you were there to capture
This
it.
is from yesterday, actually, what you were talking about, Askia Bibi's plea hearing.
Wow. Well,
Okay, so now what I need to ask over here is that, when obviously you're there and there's so many things which are happening and it can be life-threatening too as well, How do you keep calm, you know, because, you know, people are running, somebody's going there, there are bullets being fired or tear gas,
Yeah.
you know, everything's happening. So
Right.
it's a very chaotic situation. And then how do you kind of, you know, take a deep breath and relax and think for a while that, okay, you know, this is what I need to do right now.
Yeah.
Because you have to save your life. And when it comes to getting to know that, you know, my life is in danger, I think I'll probably just throw the camera, mic, everything, and I'll run. I'll be like, I'm saving my life today. That's it.
You know, that too, and also managing to get the perfect frame as well.
Yeah. So yes, the pressure. It's you are working in a very high pressure environment, and you have to be very cautious of where you're, you know, in which direction you're heading. It's always better to stick together with other photojournalists and other like people and seeing what they're doing. You know, it really helps. Because when we were covering the Ferguson riots, we decided to stick together. One late night we went out to shoot, and it was a very dangerous neighborhood, and we decided to stick together. So we weren't allowed to move away more than 10 feet from each other so that we know, you know, we're together, we're going in together, and we're getting out together. So that really helps. And, you know, trust me, the photojournalism community is so strong, you know, and very, very helpful.
Wow.
When I was in Ferguson, I couldn't get my gas mask on, and this one other journalist pulled me into the alley and he tried to fix it for me, and he was getting tear gassed at the same time. So, you know, everybody helps out. It's like teamwork, and it's really, really beautiful to see how everybody comes together.
So it's not like when you're in the aeroplane and, you know, that lady tells you that, you know, if the mask drop, obviously, you know, the oxygen level is low, so please put yours first on and then help somebody else. That's not
all
what
the
happens in
contrary.
photojournalism, ladies and gentlemen.
But you know, Sayina, you are sort of creating a path for all the Pakistani women to follow, which is absolutely great and to be proud of. And just recently, you held a talk in which you were speaking. This was a TED Talk. I think we do have the visuals as well. What did you talk about, and how did you motivate the Pakistani women to take this up as a profession?
Right. So in Pakistan, there are a lot of conservative areas, as you know, right? And male photographers cannot get the same kind of access as a female photographer that we can get. So and not just that, it also brings another perspective, you know, another perspective. Women are more empathetic in a lot of situations, and also not being biased, not just being from a male perspective. So that's really important, and we need more women photographers. And I understand it's a very tough field to be in, because I'm always, you know, fixing my dupatta, like I'm carrying like a lot of gear on me, I'm wearing like, you know, so it's, it is a tough field.
Indeed it is.
Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't cover, because if we don't give a voice to other women, their voices are not going to be heard.
Okay. And one last thing, and that is that, you know, when I've seen a lot of people when they go to cover, you know, these problematic issues, so what happens is that, you know, at times the ground forces or the authorities who are over there, they actually do not cooperate half of the time as well, because, you know, the type of work you want to capture should, or probably might be able to, you might be able to capture it probably 5 feet away from it. But, you know, the authorities, they keep you like 50 miles away from that particular place. So do you have to trick them at times as well? Do you have to lie to them? Or, you know, does it come with the package? How does it take place?
So in a lot of cases, I have experienced a lot of sexism when it comes to being on the front line. I was recently at the Chinese consulate when it was under attack in Karachi, and the authorities over there just kept telling me to back off, and I was asking them, you know, why are you just telling me to back off? There are 20 other guys, like cameramen, standing right next to me, and you're not telling them to back off. And he literally said to me, you know, if something happens, you girls are going to be the first ones to cry. So, you know, you do face a lot of that. And I wanted to, you know, I didn't want to engage with him, but I did want to say to him that, you know, I wouldn't have been here in the first place if that was the case. So, yes, so you have to just listen to them in a lot of cases, and then you also have to push for it. You also have to just, you know, talk to them nicely and be like, you know, can I please take a picture? And then obviously say
just
thank you.
Just get through the day.
You just have to get through the day, and whatever you have to do to make it happen.
Amazing.
Because your editor is relying on you. They've sent you out, and you are like on the front lines, and you have to, you know, get the pictures that they want.
Amazing.
And you know, thank you for saying that. And this is the reason for almost a week now we have been calling women from diverse fields who are practicing their, you know, favorite professions inside Pakistan, just to establish the fact that, you know, we're not any different than people who can do. I'm not going to point out any genders.
And this is how you break stereotypes. stereotypes, ladies
Yeah,
and gentlemen, but thank
definitely.
you very much for being with us.
No,
All
thank
the
you.
very best, but make sure that you stay safe, wear
Yeah.
all your gear. And yeah, Bashir Saab, thank you very much for letting her do whatever she does, and thank you very much for the immense support for people who've actually supported her work
Right.
too as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll definitely call them back again, but right now I think it's about time that we go out for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when you guys will come back, it has to do something about sugar canes. Let's
Well,
do
yes,
that.
stay tuned.
A place unique and exotic in itself, surrounded by some of the most spectacular mountain scenery in the world. The event
Right, ladies and gentlemen, time now to head out to our lifestyle coach, Lubna Khan Fraz, who's with us over here on the show. So, over to you.
Hello everyone, and a very good morning and assalamu alaikum. So today I'm going to be talking about sugarcane juice that has been declared the national juice of Pakistan. But before I go ahead and talk about the benefits of it, I want you guys to take a look at a small report.
The government of Pakistan has declared sugarcane juice as the national drink of the country. Government has conducted a poll on social networking site Twitter, at which people were asked to decide the national drink of Pakistan. Sugarcane can be eaten as is or consumed in the form of juice. Popularly known as Gane ka Ras, the juice is not just another drink, but one of the healthiest drinks that you could lay your hands on. Here are a list of health benefits of sugarcane juice that will put a lot of natural and artificial energy drinks to shame. Number 1. It prevents cancer. Sugarcane juice is alkaline in nature because of the high concentration of calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, and manganese, which helps prevent diseases like cancer that cannot survive in an alkaline environment. Number 2, clear skin imperfections. When it comes to healthy skin, alpha hydroxy acids, which are part of the natural of sugarcane juice, they fight acne, reduce blemishes, prevent aging, and help in keeping the skin hydrated. Just apply sugarcane juice to your skin and let it dry, or add it to your favorite face mask and scrub, and your skin will look radiant and clean. Number 3. It prevents heart diseases. It also prevents heart diseases and strokes as it helps decrease the level of unhealthy cholesterol. Number 4. It also helps in reducing weight, as sugarcane juice reduces the bad cholesterol levels in the body and has natural sugars. It helps in reducing weight. It has high insoluble fiber, which aids in shedding weight. Number 5. Sugarcane is good for treating diabetes. Sugarcane is sweet in taste and is full of natural sweetness, which have a low glycemic index, hence it works very well for diabetic patients.
Yeah.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that small little video about sugarcane. So let's get on the benefits that I want to mention today. So my number 1 benefit of sugarcane juice is that it is excellent for people that have kidney stones or people that have kidney issues. So it's really good if you consume sugarcane, so let's say once a week, or even if you want to do it once a day in summer. It's excellent because it's very good for dryness. It's very good for your kidney stones and clearing out UTIs. So anything that's causing your urinary tract infections is excellent for that. The number 2 thing that you want to look at is that anything that is lost in your body, for example, the lost proteins or any kind of iron, potassium, magnesium, all of those things that are being depleted in our body during summer or during the day, it's excellent to replenish our body with sugarcane juice. The third thing you want to talk about is that it's so good to, I always talk about alkaline levels and acid levels in your body. So what sugarcane does is that it puts that ratio up into sync. So it's excellent to consume sugarcane juice that is available in Pakistan so easily now. Now, you also want to remember, like it was mentioned in the video, it's excellent for diabetics as well because of its low glycemic index. So what a glycemic index tells you is that all the fruits that we intake, there are some fruits that have a lot of sugar in it, like a lot of fructose, so you don't want to consume them every single day. But sugarcane, on the other hand, being very sweet, but it still has a very low glycemic index, so you can consume it on a regular basis and not be affected by it, or your blood sugar will not be raised that fast as well. You also want to remember that due to the alkaline levels, it will help your body stay in sync with all the minerals that are in there. So if you are somebody with a magnesium deficiency, if you are somebody who is low in iron, you can have it. Women that are pregnant can also consume it. It's excellent for that as well. To rehydrate yourself in summer, it's very, very good. You want to remember, I'm waiting for my next picture over here to go in. So yes, if you're fatigued and everything, it's very good to enjoy sugarcane juice. You will notice that in summer, we have a lot of these vendors that are selling sugarcane juice, and that is why you want to consume it. Also, like it was mentioned, for skin, it is very good. So you want to remember that if you are applying this on your face, you can apply it with honey. You can, you can leave it on your face for about 1 or 2 minutes, and that will help your skin replenish itself from the dryness or any kind of flakiness or tightness you might feel on your skin as well. Let's see, what's our next picture telling us? And
yeah.
There you go. So yes, protein and everything is covered as well. Good carbs are in there, full of potassium, full of magnesium, full of manganese. It's very good for you. And let's see, constipation is another thing that we face a lot during the winters and summers, no matter what weather. So what it does is any kind of stomach acids that you may have inside, it helps flush it out. So you want to make sure that if you are somebody who gets constipated or has some kind of ulcers even, you can consume sugarcane juice to make yourself feel better. And that is what I have for you on sugarcane.
Wow, thank you so much for being so enlightening and informative early in the morning, as always.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, well, sugarcane juice happens to be now the national juice of Pakistan because government of Pakistan put out a tweet, put out a poll on Twitter, and every Pakistani on Twitter sort of voted, and we chose sugarcane juice for us.
But I don't know why, but because I never liked sugarcane juice.
Same
I
here,
don't know,
but
there's something which happens on your palate after you have this juice.
It's
So,
sticky,
you
sort
probably
of.
need
It
a
is
palate
sticky,
cleanser
yes.
afterwards, that too as well. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, if you love sugarcane juice, do have it. It's very healthy, as Lubna have told you. But then at the same time, make sure that if you're having it from outside somewhere, that the glasses are actually clean, hygienic,
yes.
and there are no wasps or probably bees sitting on top of the glass
God.
the
Or
machine,
inside the
that
juice
sort
as
of-
well.
or inside the juice. So just be careful about that. Thank you very much, Lubna. It's always wonderful to have you early in the morning, sharing all of those healthy details with people because we want you to be healthy and smiling, because smile, ladies and gentlemen, is the best curve a human body can wear.
Oh, wow. So
I like that.
So if you learned anything and you need to share with us, write us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning.
on Twitter.
Well, this morning without a G.
We're also on Daily Motion on YouTube with,
Well, this morning.
and the repeat is going to
All
be at
past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good
I can't
morning.
keep calm. It's my birthday.
Oh, yes,
Good
happy
morning. Thank you very much.